Hi everyone, it's Tarona Hawkins, retired psychic medium. Now, I promised you for a long time that my friend Sharon was going to come over, and she's an expert in many things. I've got to tell you just some of what she does, but believe you me, she's a very incredible lady. So I'm going to just move away, and I'm going to let Sharon tell you all what she's got to tell you today. So I'll see you at the end. Bye.
Hi, thanks, Gail. My name's Sharon Quigley. I'm a complementary therapist and positive mind coach, and I specialise in sound therapy. I'm the founder of Irish Academy of Sound Therapy. I'm also a teacher and Laughter Yoga Academy as well. And I'm also trained in music. I play keyboards in a touring blues rock band, which is lots of fun. And as an ex-software engineer and data scientist, I love scientific facts about everything I teach. So everything I teach does have scientific proof and evidence. And what inspires me the most about teaching is inspiring people to trust their intuition and achieve their dreams. And that's really what it's all about. So Gail has asked me to talk about frequency and vibration and some of the things that are amazing with sound therapy. So I guess firstly, it's important to understand that as humans or people, living beings, living organisms, like every other organism created in nature, is we have a vibrational frequency, and that's our electrical body. As a yoga teacher as well, I know all about the different bodies that we have, our spiritual body, our emotional body, and all those. But the electrical body is what holds our vibration, our nervous system, I guess you could call it. And there's some very interesting research that I came across quite a few years ago, and it was done by an essential oil company, and it was on PubMed, a very popular research journal. Can't find it anymore because there's so much research there now, but I do remember the fundamental facts that really piqued my interest from reading that study. And one of them was that our vibrational frequency, when we're healthy, it's 62 to 78 millihertz. And that's not too, you don't have to remember that, but just remember there is a healthy frequency range. And in the study, what was also discovered is that when we have negative feelings and emotions, that's what drops our frequency down into a lower level. It could also be environmental factors like environmental frequencies from Wi-Fi towers and mobile phone towers and that kind of stuff. But emotions, fundamental calibrator of our vibration. Also, the study found that our happiness, positive emotions, do the opposite and raise our vibration. And that's what led me to study laughter yoga, because of course laughter really is the best medicine. So there is a lot of stuff that you find online of people claiming that all of this is nonsense. And how was all of this discovered? Well, there was a man named Bruce Tainio, who was an agricultural researcher working out of a university in the United States, and he developed a device which was able to measure with complete accuracy the vibrational frequency of any organic object. That's any object created by nature. And that was called the Calibrated Frequency Monitor, CFM. And the essential oil company did the study using that device to prove which essential oils have the greatest effects at curing cancers or assisting with the body's recovery from cancer. I always believe that things that are touted as cures are actually triggers for the body's own self-healing. So I don't believe that anything is a cure. It depends a lot with our mind as well, and our state of mind, the effect of any treatment or protocol. So, and that's really important to remember, that our belief in our own ability to self-heal. So there's a lot of research around that's out to prove that, firstly, Bruce Tainio didn't exist. I've seen that somewhere, made me laugh, and claiming that there's no mention on the university that he's alleged to have worked at. Well, he doesn't work there anymore. He's passed away. They don't list their past employees on the website. Another thing that I read, trying to make out that this was all nonsense about the body's frequency, was a person who claimed to be a scientist, claiming that if our body emits a radio frequency, we should be able to hear it on a radio receiver, which is a total amount of rubbish, because you just look at the frequency range. So the human body, the healthy frequency range is 62 to 78 millihertz. That's 1,000th of 1 hertz. And a radio receiver, like your radio, it won't receive any frequencies below 20 kilohertz. So a radio receiver has a much higher frequency range. It hasn't got a chance of picking up a human body's frequencies on a radio. That was the most ridiculous thing that I ever heard. So it's very important to remember that 1 millihertz is 1,000th of 1 hertz. And if a radio picks up 20 kilohertz and above, that's 20,000 times 1,000. Like, it's impossible. So anyway, it's fantastic. Once you understand that we are vibrational beings and that our emotions are the key to our health, our happiness and longevity, you can very easily flick that switch when you encounter a negative environment, angry people, or whatever it may be, and just resist that. You never get into it. So, and that's what led me to sound therapy. I've been intrigued by it for 30 years or so. When I was first introduced in Australia, when I was with friends in their naturopath clinic, and they worked with sound and frequency medicine. And there's a whole lot of body of evidence from way back early in the 20th century. There was a naturopath, Royal Raymond Rife. He was very well known for curing with frequencies. And in Western Australia, there was a medical doctor, and everybody knew about him. Well, everybody in the complementary medicine world did. And he was actually the former head of oncology at the largest teaching hospital in Western Australia, Sir Charles Gardner Hospital. And he had 2 MRI scanners modified so he could adjust the frequencies for healing cancers. And of course, he wasn't allowed to use them at the hospital. That wasn't the kind of treatments they wanted. They were on another kind of, research was different and all of that. So he resigned from his job and started up and opened his own clinic in Western Australia, in Perth, where he successfully worked with cancers for 40 years. So he didn't document his research in scientific journals because they didn't want to believe it. But it's there. The evidence is there. So, and he was very particular about the cancers he worked with. He never claimed he could cure everything. He never claimed that everything would work. He very, very specific about the protocols he used. And his name was Dr. John Holt. And what a wonderful man to resign from his job and completely go against what he was supposed to be doing and just go on his own little journey, which is wonderful. And one thing that Gail wanted me to show you about was tuning forks as well. So tuning forks are a wonderful tool. They have very specific vibrations which are tuned to specific frequencies. And I particularly wanted to show you this one. It's a 128 hertz tuning fork. And what led me to this one was just that it's also a C note, musical C in certain tunings. So being a musician, I thought, well, that must do something good. And that was the first tuning fork that I ever bought, was one like this. And then I discovered a wonderful book called Human Tuning. So if anyone's interested in the wonders of this 128 hertz tuning fork, I'd advise you to purchase that book. You can get it on Amazon. I don't get any commission from it. And it was written by a guy called John Baleo. And he discovered that this particular tuning fork, when it's activated by tapping on an activator, I will just tap it on the side of the chair here, gets the vibrations. You won't hear them because they're quite low. And placed on the body, it activates the nitric oxide production in the bloodstream. And nitric oxide is reduced when we're under stress, and that can cause a lot of problems because it's a base chemical of the immune system. And if there's not enough nitric oxide in the blood, our immune system can't do its job properly. It can't create anti-inflammatories, antiviral, antibacterial, all the things it's supposed to do when we're healthy. And people get a prescription for nitric oxide if they're deficient in it. Well, this wonderful tuning fork can, just in a short space of time, just 3 activations, 3 placing on the body will be enough to regenerate the nitric oxide production. And I think that's fantastic. So things like achy joints, arthritic joints, even nervous system problems with pain where there shouldn't be pain. I've helped so many people heal from different problems. Particularly, there was a guy who had a lot of pain in his arms after a couple of years after a terrible motorbike accident where he seriously injured his neck. In fact, he was told he'd never walk again. He's got 11 pins in his neck and he's now walking fine. But just with this tuning fork, remove the pain from his arms instantly, and the pain relief lasted for just over 2 hours. And I said to him, we'll have to do it again the next day because the effects will be cumulative. And sure enough, when he did another treatment the next day, it lasted indefinitely. As far as I know, he hasn't got that pain returning. And what I explained to him was that this tuning fork is teaching your body how to self-heal, how to reset your electrical body, how to reset your nervous system to its natural resonance. And that's the wonderful thing about sound. Now, I could go on for ages. There's so much. In fact, I teach practitioner diplomas and a lot of different things. But there's a lot of books out there that you can get, in particular, Human Tuning by John Belair. That's a wonderful book. And Gail also asked me to tell you a little bit about these little miracles, these little tiny tuning forks here. And they're very good at raising the vibration and just even use them for space clearing, for clearing the room of any dense negativity. They're great to take with you if you're traveling, if you're staying in a hotel or a B&B. You never know, there may have been an argument in the room before. Just a gentle tapping the two together. These are different because they're smaller. You can't activate them in the same way as this one. This one you tap it. I like to tap this on the corner of a yoga block actually. It's perfect. Or you can get the little rubber activators for them. But these two, you'd activate them by tapping them together. So really nice, and just really light. They can help with tinnitus. You don't overdo it though because it can become a little bit annoying, but just lightly, and you tap it away from the head, not close to the head, and just get a nice little vibration. These are called angel tuning forks. Now, I don't work with angels myself, but that's the name of these tuning forks because they are high vibration, so believed to help spiritually and mentally to raise the vibration. And this particular one, which is in a set of 3, which is what they come in, 4096 hertz, that's called a crystal tuner. It's believed to cleanse the crystals of any negative energy. So if you work with crystals, it's nice to use this before and after you've used the crystal for something. So, and one thing people often ask me is where to buy the tuning forks from. So I'll recommend you the place where I always purchase the tuning forks. And I don't get any commission, but I believe they're the best in the world. They're located in Sheffield. They've been making tuning forks for over 160 years. The aluminium that they use is aerospace quality. They're medically certified for, making tuning forks for hospital use, medical use, also for musical and sound therapy use. And the name of that company is RAG Tuning Forks, RAGG, RAG Tuning Forks. And you can use a discount code that they've created for myself and my students, and I'll give you that discount code and you get 10% off any purchases from their website. It's IAST10. That's the initials of Irish Academy of Sound Therapy. So you get 10% off any purchases direct from RAG. And the prices are very, very reasonable because it's direct from the manufacturer. So if you're only going to buy one tuning fork in your life, it'll be this one, 128 hertz tuning fork, weighted. The weights make the sound last for longer because when you're putting it on the body, it'll stop the sound a lot quicker. So you want the sound to last a bit longer. These don't have the weights because these are for use around the body. You don't put them on the body. That's the difference between them. But yeah, absolutely top quality. I don't think there's anybody in the world that is making tuning forks better than this company. They've got the history, they've got the quality control, the standards, you name it. I haven't found any other company that's got so many certifications and accreditations as they have. That's about it probably. I should probably stop talking. I can talk too much and there's so much to talk to. I'll pass you over to Gail again. So thanks for having me, Gail. And it's been great to share some of the knowledge of working with sound and frequency.
See, I told you she was a very clever lady. Right, just one apology for Freya barking. Somebody delivered something, so I hope that didn't distract from what you were saying at all. Well, that's great. Thank you very much, Sharon. And I'm sure you'll all appreciate it. And how can anybody contact you?
Irish Academy of Sound Therapy, academyofsoundtherapy.ie. So there's a contact form on there, so you could send me an email through that way. Or I've got a YouTube channel as well. I'm not sure what I think it's Academy of Sound Therapy as well. You'll find me on the website anyway.
Oh, that's great. And if you've not got that, if you leave a message or anything, and I'll put the Irish Sound Academy up for you, or I can pass a message on. Okay, well, that was really great. Thank you so much. And I'll see you again sometime next week. Okay, bye.